Today, we're going to learn about equivalent fractions. And when I say the word equivalent, that means equal to. That's all that means. Equivalent means equal to. So, let's look at numbers 2 and 3 to start. And they give me a visual model. They give me something that I can see to help myself. So I always like going through and highlighting my big box so that I can see what they are talking about. They say 2/4 is equal to 8ths. Now, I do see my 2/4. And they have shown me I can divide my fourths by 2. So, my 4th graders learned a poem today. As above, so below. What happens to one, the other must show. And what that means is what you do to the numerator, this top number, and we can label that. Numerator. The bottom one is the denominator. Funny story, I used to call it a demonator in elementary school because I could not say denominator. It took me a very long time. All right, so I'm saying I can multiply 4 times 2 to get 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That checks out, that tracks. So 2 times 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2/4 is equivalent to 4/8. Let's look at number 3. I see my big box. And I see I'm starting off with 1/3. Now, they gave me a clue. 1/3 is equal to, 6 pieces. 1/3 is equal to how many 6ths? To get from 3 to 6, do I multiply or divide? You're right, I multiply. What do I multiply by? 2, you are so smart. So I'm going to divide all of these blocks into 2 separate pieces. And I'm going to say, as above, so below. What happens to one, the other must show. Now, I have 6ths shown. I have 6 equal pieces drawn. How many pieces are shaded? I know that 3 times 2 is 6. 1 times 2 is what? You're right, 2. And I found that because I took my original 3 pieces and I chopped them into 2 equal pieces, and that gives me 6. So the area that was shaded would be 2/6. Let's look at a couple more examples because this is really fun. Are you having fun yet? Fractions is my favorite unit. I'm going to look at 4, and I'm going to circle for my brain, 4 and 7. Number 4 says, write a fraction equivalent to 1/5. Write a fraction equivalent to 1/5. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go through and find my big box first, my original fraction. That original fraction is 1/5. My original fraction is 1/5. And there's my 1. They gave me a clue, and they said multiply by 2, because they divided their box into 2 separate pieces. So I'm going to say 1/5 times, as above, so below. What happens to 1? The other must show. If I'm dividing it into 2 on top and bottom, on the fraction in my numerator denominator, I have to say 2 halves. That denominator of 2 says half. 2 halves. Let's see what that equals. 1 times 2 is? You're so smart. It's 2. What is 5 times 2? Oh, you're so smart. You're so right. It's 10. So 1/5 is equal to 2/10. My mind is blown. Let's look at number 7, because it says write 2 fractions that are equivalent to 2/3. I'm going to use what I learned when I did factors, multiples, prime and composite. I'm going to use my multiple skills, because I know if it will equal my denominator, I can make that numerator match, right? Yes. So I'm going to show my thinking. I'm going to say 3, 6, 9. I already have 2/3, so that satisfies that 3. Let's see. How many pieces do I have to cut my thirds into if I go by sixths? From 3 to 6. So I'm going to write a math problem. I'm going to say 2/3 times equals blank sixths. I'm going to count my multiples, because that may give me a clue. 3, 6. Oh, I counted 2. So I can draw a line straight down the middle to make it equal 6 pieces. I can draw a line straight down the middle to equal 6 pieces. So, how many pieces do I have now? 1, 2, 3, 4. And because I divided this into 2 rows, as above, so below. What happens to 1, the other must show. You have to do the same to both the numerator and denominator to make them equal each other. It has to be the same thing you multiply the top and the bottom by to make sure they equal each other. Now, I'm going to switch my ink colors so you can see how we do ninths, because that's my next multiple. I know I can use that next. 2/3 times equals ninths. How many 3's does it take to make 9? If you're not real strong in your multiplication skills, I can count my skip counting. So 1, 2, 3. It takes 3 3's to make 9. So what you do to one, you have to do to the other. So 1, so now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces. So I can also say 2/3 equals 6/9. I hope this has helped, and I'll see you guys again real soon.